My newsletter articles on LinkedIn and my podcasts are not supposed to be about me, but to provide guidance to international job seekers who want to optimize their approach. However, after more than 50 newsletter editions since February 2023, you, like many others of the 3,200 subscribers, may have become curious about who's actually behind all this content. The reason I feel competent to advise others on the topic is my long-standing experience as an international career coach. That's a title anyone can claim, and that's why I'm dedicating this podcast episode to telling you about my pathway to it and how it may relate to you. Hello and welcome to my podcast channel. I'm Michael Kaiser. I work as an international career coach and I help managers and specialists get the job they want with a new employer abroad. So, how does one actually become a career coach? In my opinion, certainly not by attending a short training course and then awarding yourself such a title. Real coaches develop into their specific roles over years. That was certainly the case for me. I was born in the year 1969 in Dresden, a city located in East Germany. At the time of my birth and for another 20 years, Germany remained divided into two parts. While many correctly associate the state of modern Germany with the past of its western part after the Second World War, especially younger people may not be aware that life in East Germany, a separate country called German Democratic Republic, in short GDR, belonging to the Soviet-ruled communist bloc in Eastern Europe, was totally different. Unlike the prosperous German part in the West, East Germany was very poor. The country I grew up in was crippled by political oppression, a lack of economic freedom, and closed borders to prevent its citizens from fleeing until the fall of the Berlin Wall in late 1989 and the subsequent unification of the two German parts a year later. For decades afterward, many people from the former East German states would still regard themselves as the underdogs in the unified country. So, as a career coach, I can relate to the circumstances of people in and from the less fortunate regions of the world because I come from one of them as well. My message to all of those in a difficult situation is that this is still no reason to give up. The first time I helped a friend with his job applications was right after I had found my own first job in London in 1997. At the time, all my skills had come from my own recent experiences only. Almost to my astonishment, my friend was extremely successful with my tips in his job search in a very short time. That was the first sign for me that I had talent in this area. Of course, I didn't start to call myself a coach back then, and I wouldn't do so for the next 15 years either. Before moving to London, I had studied psychology at the Technical University Dresden in my hometown in Germany, specializing in industrial and organizational psychology. However, my German university diploma in psychology, an equivalent of a combination of a Bachelor of Science degree and a Master of Science degree I received in 1995, was not my first professional qualification. Back in 1989, I had successfully finished high school and completed a 3-year vocational training as a locomotive mechanic. So I know how one feels as a blue-collar employee on the early shift, starting at 5:40 a.m. and having to use tools so heavy that you can barely carry them. Over the following 18 years, I had to apply for many jobs as an employee and assignments as a freelancer in several countries, which gave me a great deal of practical experience and an excellent understanding of the real life in the modern world of work. Since I left Germany for the first time in 1995, my professional activities and my interest in other cultures have let me live in several other countries on 3 continents for a total of more than 16 years now. In addition to years in England and Poland, I lived and worked in New York City for almost 3 years. Since 2018, I've been living in the Republic of Mauritius which is an excellent platform for my now global work in the human resources sector. After my first promising success in 1997, my interest in the field of professional development started to grow, and over the following 18 years, I helped more and more people achieve their professional goals. My growing toolbox of knowledge, experience, tips and tricks for the job search and related topics allowed me to rise to bigger and bigger challenges that my clients were facing and led to one success after another. And by the way, I helped people free of charge without using any title during all those years. In 2012, I had the idea to quickly publish all my acquired knowledge in the form of a guide for job seekers on a website. I assumed that my guide would consist of only a few pages. In fact, writing the very first version took a total of 6 weeks and only covered the most important aspects. So I kept going, and in the meantime, my website has grown to the size of a book and is available in English and German. Later in 2016, I got my own radio show with an FM station in Hamburg, to mention just one of the highlights my further publishing activities led to. All of that made me realize in 2015 how much I loved this work and that I wanted to focus my own career on it in the future. Ever since, I've worked as a professional career coach very successfully for clients across the world. Apart from my work as a career coach for job seekers and clients who want to become self-employed, I also occasionally help companies as a freelance business psychologist in the areas of recruitment, training, and organizational development, and as an interim HR manager. A highlight of that work in recent years for me was the development of a global workforce structure as head of human resources at ClickTip Limited based in London. My coaching clients profit from that as well. Through this work, I stay very familiar with the typical situations on the side of hiring companies, which allows me to adapt my clients' application strategies particularly well. So I've successfully supported lots of people from a wide variety of professions, industries, and countries in often demanding situations to reach their specific career goals in my role of a professional career coach for many years now. Am I the right career coach for you too? To help you find an answer to this question, I've compiled a selection of currently more than 40 testimonials by coaching clients and other users of my various offers for you. They tell short stories about how they profited from my support. You will find the link to it in the video description. If you come to the conclusion that you would like me to help you reach your career goals as well, I'll be very happy to support you. If this is of interest to you, go to my website and click on the big button to apply for a free orientation call with me. In this call, we will analyze your current situation and needs in detail, and we will also find out how I can help you best to reach your goals fast. There is also our LinkedIn group for managers and specialists on the way to their dream job abroad, where you can network with others on this wonderful journey and receive further tips and tricks on the matter several times a week. If you're not a member yet, we hope to welcome you today. If you haven't subscribed to this podcast channel yet, now is the perfect time to do so. Make sure to also activate the bell in order not to miss out on any new episodes in the future. I'd appreciate it a lot if you leave me a like, as this helps others to discover this channel as well. And please leave me a comment with your thoughts, questions and suggestions for future episodes. That's it for today. As always, I wish you the very best for your job search abroad, and I'll be back here very soon.